Yep. How old is it? Do you mind being in the video? All right, cool.
So the record player was built in 1941.
Yep.
It's been in this bar for about 35 years.
Yep.
It's called the Dynatron. So it's an American machine.
Yep.
But it's a bit, well, if you think about it, if you had an antique car and you ran it 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 35 years, all the moving parts are falling off. I call it a bit like Trigger's Brew. So it's had a lot of love and care, and a lot of breakdowns and repairs, and a lot of I say some heavy TLC, but you couldn't have the pub without it.
Mate, you must need a specialist to repair that.
We do. We've got a fella called Mitchell who maintains it for us. About once a year, he'll actually go away for an MOT.
Right.
So he'll strip the motor, take all the dust and rubbish out, re-oil everything, put it all back together, send it back to us. Even picks it up, drops it off at our doorstep. It's not a cheap repair, not a cheap maintenance, but it's worth it.
How much? Out of curiosity.
200-300 something.
Right.
So it's a very specialised gig to get
Right.
Yeah. Because it's not always just the motor.
I was going to say, because it sounds great.
It's brilliant.
What about is the actual speaker itself? Can't be original.
So the speaker's part of the original.
It is.
The wiring, the speaker system, the knobs and dials, that's all completely original.
Right.
It's gone through at least 3 or 4 new decks. It's what we call there's a proper name for it, but a drop-down deck.
Yeah.
Which you can put like 2 or 3 records on there at once, and this mechanized arm will move over there and it'll play. I can have the camera.
Oh, yeah, mate, yeah. Go for it.
Let's lift this over. That's it playing in there. So it's got different speeds down the side there. And that arm just moves out the way, drops the next record off this spike when it comes along, which makes it really easy when you've got a busy night, I tell you.
That's unreal, mate.
It creates the perfect ambience for the pub. I always say it always complements the atmosphere, it never commands it.
It's
You
terrific.
can have a conversation, but it's on a bedrock of a bit of Stevie Wonder, or something like that.
Have you got a style that you stick to, or where do you get your records?
Sometimes it depends on what we're in the mood for. We don't do requests. Just whatever. It's one of the privileges of being the staff member here, is we can just pick what we think.
I like it.
It's like a really busy night, put a bit of the Beatles or the Rolling Stones on. Quiet afternoon, get a bit of jazz, get a bit of blues on, something like that. I'll tell you what we did have a few weeks ago.
How many records have you got?
1,000.
Literally?
Yeah. I'll show you a real special one. Just got this the other week.
Need requests, pal. You heard the man. Need requests.
The band Madness will play the gig the other week.
I just had a drink with. I've had a drink with Suggs just a couple of weeks ago.
Do you know his saxophone player, Kicks?
No. It was a weird chain of events that led to that.
His name's Lee Thompson. And he came in after his gig that they just done at Newcastle Plate the other week.
Right.
Never been in the pub in his life, fell in love with the place, had a very similar conversation right here at the
All right.
right? And he made me write down my name and address, and he sent me this really cool record, which I do recommend, to Andy, keep it vinyl, Best Kicks, Madness, and it's a Lee Thompson Ska Orchestra. Absolutely fantastic.
That's
record.
cool, man.
But what a nice guy sent that.
That's really cool.
To play for
That's
everybody.
really cool, man.
But he sent us a couple of his own records of the Ska Orchestra. But we've got a couple of out. There's a local band called Smooth and Terrell named an album after the pub, Crown Posada.
You kidding?
Yeah.
There's an album named after this pub.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
And actually, there's a track.
Oh yeah, give a shout out to what pub we're in.
Oh well, we're in the Crown Posada in Newcastle upon Tyne.
Very.
Probably should have started that. Yeah, so this local band, Smooth and Terrell, boys, family members, from their fathers, their grandfathers used to drink in here. The boys still drinking here.
So how long's the pub been running as it is?
I'll tell you a bit of history. Yeah, so the Crown Posada's been here for. We're doing this backwards.
We are doing this backwards. That's how I roll.
So this pub's been here for 230 years.
Yeah?
It's a grade 2 listed building, so protected outside and in. We've got the original stained glass windows at the front of the pub, about 20 foot high. They date back to the 1880s, as does this Victorian refurbishment. In there says the bacon. So it's the best case of an 8 broke don't fix it I could possibly think of. We specialise in hand pulled cask ale and we're professional salesmen by
So
trade.
continuously running 200 years?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of history, mate.
We had a Victorian refurbishment around about the 1800s, about 1880. Now, the pub's name is very unusual, it's very unique. There is no other Crown Posada in the world. It's a bit like a Google whack. If I put Crown Posada into Twitter, for example, in the search, it'd only be people talking about this pub with those two words side by side.
Right.
So it was always called the Crown from day one. I said 230 years ago. But Posada wasn't up until around about 1887. Now you've got to think around about the Victorian time. The Newcastle quayside was one of the busiest ports in the whole world. Tremendous amount of money flowed through this port. There was coal, steel, shipbuilding, and the traders came with it to supply those industries and to supply the people that were connected, the rich and the wealthy. Tremendous amount of banks, very beautiful buildings here in Newcastle city centre. You just got to walk up Grey Street to see all that.
Yeah.
And this pub was part of that money injection that took place over about 50 years when Newcastle, like the Granger Market, Grey Street, all kind of came about. So this pub went through its 1880 revival attached to that, let's say, wealth of the city. And the Posada got added.
So the 1880s is when Newcastle exploded.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
It's always been a figurehead northern powerhouse, but it was the real coal industry that just skyrocketed the city into wealth. But yeah, they say that the whole rivalry between Sunderland and Newcastle began because of the coal. Don't know the exact facts, but my memory tells me it was a royal decree of some kind that all coal mined in the north of England, including the coal from Sunderland, had to leave via the River Tyne. Which is why Newcastle is the most prosperous and biggest city in the region, and that's what started the animosity between the two towns, which then translated over into the football. So you find that I should go back to the pub's name. So the Posada, a very unusual name for a building. Only one of the Posada in the UK. I think it's in Bath or something like that. And Posada got it because it's a Spanish and Portuguese word. It translates to resting place or inn. Small place to stay. And so you got to think you would have had a tremendous amount of traders in this part of the quayside. This was all warehouses, traders. You would have had a lot of these buyers and sellers that would have been local Spaniards, like living here, buying off Spanish boats, selling to English contacts. There was a Spanish consulate just up the street, one of the largest stock exchanges outside of London, right just down the street. It's now Premier Inn, I think. Gone a bit down market. So this really was, a hub of activity, and so the Posada got added primarily because of these traders, and you would have had tremendous amount of uneducated Spanish sailors. They wouldn't be bilingual. So the word crown wouldn't mean much to them, but if they saw a Spanish or Portuguese word, Posada, that they recognised, like, oh, that means pub, then they'd come in for a drink. Because they wouldn't go to school, they'd be chucked on a boat at an early age, right, this is how you hoist the mast, but they wouldn't know about other languages, other cultures, but they see the word Posada like...
And how ironic, 2 centuries later, the Spanish basically employed the same tactic over there for all of you guys.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
so there was loads of...
If you go to Spain and find a Queen's Head there, you know that's...
Exactly.
To grab the English in. But it's funny that, isn't it? So, yeah, so that's the origin of the pub's name. But, so it's a northeast institution, this place. They literally don't build them like this anymore. It's not just myself, but you see a real love and passion for this. pub. I see people every week that come in, they came to Newcastle University 30, 40 years ago, and they just walk in like, thank God it's still here, thank God it's not changed. And, you know, all I've got to do as the manager here is just keep the standards up when it comes to having great beer, great service, and making sure everybody's happy and welcome, and that's the important.
Well, you're keeping that up, mate. It's been a great pleasure. I go to a lot of pubs in the UK. This is legendary, mate.
Legendary,
and yeah, thank you very much for having us. It's sensational. Thank you. The great history. Thank you. No worries. Thanks, mate.